It's top tier Jasmine Allure, and if you want to have an alluring time, you better watch Count.
What is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me is that guy, Tommy.
Hello.
And we got Big Mike.
What's up, guys? We're almost 2 months through 2025. What's time?
This is going quick, isn't it?
How is it February 19th?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but-
January was the longest year. February's been a short week, so I don't know what's going on.
That's
Seriously.
very true. Very true. So,
Jeez, man.
appreciate
What's up,
everybody
everybody?
joining us. Hope everybody is staying warm, especially if you're, in the area of the literally bipolar Texas. Can't make up its freaking mind on the weather.
It's funny you mentioned that because I
Yeah.
forgot to tell y'all our heater went out this morning.
Oh,
You
Jesus.
serious?
I'm dead serious.
Yeah, for context, we're at
today, or are you in a cold room?
I have a space heater.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
fun
bro. That
times.
sucks.
Fun times.
It's just-
Yeah.
I literally got up this morning. I was like, it's colder than it should be, and the inside unit was moving, was on, but I couldn't hear the fan outside. And I was like, so I got dressed, went outside. Okay, that's just how this week is starting.
Yeah.
Well, it's middle of the week, so whatever. I stand by what I said.
I think we can all agree when we say screw you, Groundhog, for giving us 6 more weeks of this shit. But
Sure, I don't.
What's up?
I mean, speaking
Yeah.
of somebody.
anyway,
Jason, Sean, Bernsey, Christopher Daniels. What's up, guys? How's it going?
what's up, everybody? Now, while it is February, yes, that means it also is Black History Month, and we need to play a very, very important message from the one and only
Please, guys, pay attention and
This is
no
very-
jokes while we're doing this. This is
Boss
very
Baines.
serious.
Everyone, please enjoy. Get this full screen here.
When you're surrounded by an entire other type of person, you feel very othered. And so being the only guys in a entire company populated with women made us feel very othered. So we wanted to make our voices heard as best we possibly could and show that the equality really is the answer to everyone's problems. And what we wanted was to be treated as equals. That's what we wanted. And the best way that we could think of to do that was through mild civil unrest. We would disrupt matches and cause problems, but it was in the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King. Really.
Yeah. Kids, when you're sitting in your history class,
No,
trying to think of the most important figures of
No.
Black history, remember that message from Mr. Boss Baines. What exactly that message is, I have no idea, but it does apparently involve Dr.
neither did
Martin Luther
he.
King.
Yeah, I'm
No.
not convinced he knew at all what he was talking about.
But it apparently
by the time
does
that was-
involve Dr. Martin Luther King. Yes, great moment that will live on forever in
God.
WrestleCast. Guys, let me just say it. We have to play that every February
Yeah,
because
I'm
it
down
is
with
very
that.
important.
It's just-
Yes,
it's
so,
just- Sorry,
If you don't like that, Tommy, we can get K-Jax on.
no. Actually, that's way better than having K-Jax on. And I don't care who doesn't like what I just said.
Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. What a way to kick off this episode, right? So
That was like the funniest thing ever when that happened.
Oh God,
Yeah.
we were dying on that interview.
Dude,
That
I was like, because I think B Mike were the same. It's like, how much further is he gonna take this? And the second he hit Martin Luther King, I was like, he must be stopped.
yeah,
It's like I was like, okay, now we have to kill him. Now it's just necessary at this point. So
well, I haven't seen him recently, so
he's been on my social media lurking.
oh, okay, just me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm telling everybody.
Well, today we'll talk about everything that happened this past weekend from Hybrid Experience, RCW's Rumble Royale, AEW Grand Slam Australia, NXT Vengeance Day, and a slew of other news that has come out in the wrestling world over the last week or so. And we can kind of start with that. I mean, obviously the news, we can talk about NXT, but there's a couple things coming out of NXT's episode yesterday. We finally know Ricky Starks, thanks to all the fans out there that were not chanting his name, is now known as Ricky Saints. So they gave him a new name. Although I'm hearing that he kind of came up with this on his own.
No,
yeah.
shut up.
Also, something that happened at NXT yesterday. Moose came out and confronted Obafemi, yes, the X Division champion, TNA X Division champion, I should say, showed up at NXT, and my God, whew.
Not a lot of men look the same size as Obafemi.
No.
But
if you're not sure exactly how big Moose is, and then you see it next to Obafemi, it's like, okay.
No bread.
Yeah.
No water. Just meat.
Keep it up with that. Both the TNA Tag Team Champions, Tag Team Champions, the Hardys, and the aforementioned X Division Champion Moose will be on NXT next week, defending their current championships as well. I forget
this
who the graphics are out there. Yeah, so
we saw the Moose stuff, but when Tina threw up the Hardy ones in the chat, at first I was like, oh, but then I saw NXT and I was like, this is like a test run for them to get back on main
seriously.
TV, right? Like we'll start with NXT and see how that goes. Obviously, the NXT crowd's going to go insane, but
I mean, they were on not too long ago after the initial announcement that they had a working relationship for a few years. Like they made an appearance. So
at NXT.
Yeah, it was. I forget. It was like a week off.
I honestly don't remember that, but okay, I believe you.
There's been so much going on; it's hard to keep track of. Yeah. So,
James, that's exactly what that Moose.
Yep.
Obafemi match is going to be. That's a Big E approved match.
It sounds like the most painful match that won't involve like hardcore rules. You know, it's like the sound of those two guys like trying to clothesline each other. It's like, ow.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see where they go from it. Are they setting up for Mania weekend? Like, what are they doing with that? That's going to be interesting. You know, possibly a TNA pay-per-view.
Best of 7 series. The winner is the King of Africa.
Oh, I was thinking bigger picture, but specifically them. But I feel like there may be some sort of what was it called before? Worlds Collide. What did NXT do a few years ago?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Worlds
Collide, right?
Was it Worlds Collide? Yeah.
Worlds Collide.
Because AEW's World's End. Yeah.
AEW's World's End. Yeah. I could see something like that between TNA and NXT, like having like a show that weekend of several matches of, talent from TNA versus talent from NXT.
Yeah, it was Worlds Collide. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think TNA does have an event that weekend. Oh, that Thursday's TNA Unbreakable. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be an Impact Plus or just part
about
of the
to get broken when Worlds
Impact
Collide.
episode. Yeah, right. So a lot going on that weekend. We'll see what they happen to do with that too as well. So, all right. On the local front, we'll talk about Hybrid. We'll talk about RCW. Just want to put this out there. Upcoming events for the local promotions. United 210 has their first event of the year, March 1st, but it's not at the Yard. It's what's it called? What is it? David, have they give us a name?
Ooh.
First of all, it's called Mamba Bash 3.
Okay.
It's the start of their.
It looked like it was in an open field somewhere, which
it's. But I feel like that kind of
makes sense.
Fits with United weekend because the first time I went to that show, I was like, Tommy, I'm in the middle of it, or Jason was like, I'm in the middle of a neighborhood. They're like, yes.
I'm
like, oh well.
Down the street.
Technically, the address is 9726 Clamp Avenue, 78221. But yes, when you look it up on Google Maps or Apple Maps, thankfully it's not in the Gulf of America or in Margaritaville.
It is the Gulf of Margaritaville.
Or what was it? Spaceballs, the Gulf.
There we go. Yes, merchandising.
Merchandising. Yeah, it looks kind of like there's property and there's a place. I think they said they had a show there last year, if I remember from stuff at the end of last season. But for any of James, if y'all been there before, let us know.
For reference, it is right by the Mission Flea Market, aka La Pulga, on the south side. So parking is going to be a bitch. So make sure you are there early if you're going to attend that on March 1st.
Also, just throwing this out, there are already 2 matches announced. Key will defend her women's United 210 title versus Gia Michelle.
No bad side there.
Which is cool.
Okay.
No, they are well acquainted with each other, and they will beat the crap out of each other.
And Gia Michelle will be there. No downside.
Well, yes. And then the United Heritage 210 Heritage champion Danny O'Ryan defends against Epidemius Jr. So
I hope he whoops his ass. Danny O'Ryan gets on my nerves, dude.
So flips and crazy shit all over that one. So good start for that show. We still got a couple weeks.
Epi's career is insane, and he's like, what I heard that he, and I know he's young. I can't remember how young he is, but I heard.
And we've got more to say about him a little bit later.
Oh yeah.
United 210's first show in the yard will be Friday, March 21st, and that pretty much kicks off a triple shot weekend of shows.
We're gonna okay, real quick before you go on, we're having a lot of those in the past year or so. Like a lot of triple shot. Just in San Antonio. Remember we used to have them like here in Austin, but now they're all in San Antonio.
Well, in all fairness, there's a pretty good working relationship, obviously, with Hybrid and RCW, and then United 210. They work with Hybrid, and it seems like they have a good relationship with RCW. So I'm down if Mission Pro wants to come back and we want to throw some sort of festival 4-day weekend, or 2 shows on
Saturday.
Double shot.
Not the way it was at one time, but let's do like a early show, later show. I'd be down.
Like a double shot at the same venue, just clear out and get to the next one.
Or that could work.
Yeah, that could work too.
Man, if I ever get that goddamn Fat Man Arena going, we'll just have we'll have a wrestling festival there, man.
Just rent the Alamo Dome, put the curtain on this side's Mission Pro. When it's over, move over to this side. Just do that, okay? Find a way that dramas are not playing.
Look, I'll just repeat myself. If I ever win the lottery, I'm not going to tell everybody. But when you guys see suddenly an indie wrestling building just randomly appear on some random part of San Antonio, and you don't know who owns it, but I'm always there front row, and you never actually see me arrive, you'll just know that there are signs.
Yeah, there'll be signs. There'll be signs. Yeah.
Also, that Friday, March 21st show is called Back to the Yard, which makes sense. It's different show back there.
Saturday, March 22nd, Hybrids Road to Hybrid Mania event at the Hybrid School of Wrestling. And Sunday, the next RCW event, but that one is at the Von Erich Ranch, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, it is.
March 23rd.
And front row seats are already just about sold out. They're limited tickets there, so.
Yeah, and one reason, and I can confirm that they're even more almost sold out because I bought one.
Nice. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it. I'm looking at that. We'll see what happens.
I'm not missing this one. I missed
Jay,
the last one.
Time to invest in a hotel, hotels.com or something like that, bro. So
yeah, dude.
Also, yeah. Definitely. Also, Brookside, I agree. We need MPW back. So
yes, we do.
Are you not going to call her by her name?
Okay, if you go back up. Okay, here's the thing.
I saw us.
Right? So she shared a video with me like a week or 2 ago. It was like nicknames for people with Mike. I don't know if you've seen these video series they do. Yeah. It's like nicknames for people of different people. So there was microplastics for Michael. And she's stuck on that. So she calls me microplastic now. So with her name Angel, the first thing that came into my head was obviously the fallen angel Christopher Daniels.
Yeah.
So I called her that. She's like, what about Zaya Brookside? And I was like, I've seen her once. I don't know a lot about her. Apparently she's got an angel in her name. So it's one or the other. I don't know.
I forgot to have a cosplay weapon when we started.
Well, there's nobody you needed to threaten. So
yeah.
So I mean, you never know.
That's fair.
And hey, given how this show goes, you never know who will pop in the chat. So I mean,
no, you're not wrong.
So.
Well, let's get into what happened this past weekend. We'll start on the local end, and Mike, Tommy, you guys are going to take this away. Obviously, I didn't get to make it. There was a lot going on. Congrats to my daughter and her Lady Shark softball teammates. This team I coach finished as tournament finalists. Hell of a day in Pleasanton. All a little banged up between being hit by so many pitches.
Oh,
Audie taking a line drive off the hand. She's a pitcher, by the way. Hand stuck in, finished the game, struck out the next girl, and just let me tell you, my daughter's pissed off. You watch it, okay? But
by the way, Nuff, don't encourage this, please.
Very proud of them for sticking out. Tough semifinal win, got it, and then just girls were exhausted in the championship, but they did not quit to put up a fight. So proud of all of it. Cool. Hell of a game, everything like that. So, well, you guys, we'll start with Hybrid Experience Heartbreakers 3. So. A lot to talk about, a lot going on. Now, I know Tommy is smiling, and I assume this is Calientita related.
Well, like, do you want to right off the bat, Tommy? Don't you want to?
No. We can build up to it. I'm just
Okay.
happy. I'm just so happy.
So there was a lot of things that happened. First off, there are number one contenders now to both Devin Carter's Rising Star Championship and to Casey's main heavyweight title. Jesse Funaki won his Fatal 5-Way.
Okay.
And so it's now Funaki versus Devin Carter at some point in the future. I don't know if that's Hybrid Mania, Road to Hybrid Mania, the next show.
Or hybrid chamber, or
Hybrid Chamber,
hybrid slam, and sorry.
Yeah, I mean, any of those, I'll take them. B-Boy returned to
Hybrid escape room.
Ooh, actually, I'd be down for that.
Is that also a cage match?
Maybe.
Or is it literally escape the hybrid?
Swear to God, if Brandon makes RCW escape room, I'm swear to God.
Don't give him ideas.
No, if it's RCW escape room, I have to be part of it as a person who just screams at whoever's in there until they can find their way out.
Yeah, there better be a math problem solved when involved before you can get out. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
So.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
B-Boy returned to Hybrid to take on Jay Young from Dead Man's Hand.
Which was
hell of a match.
Yeah, I was going to say, which is such a good match.
Yeah, Jay Young really showed himself there. He was cocky and confident, which B-Boy, did like at first and really took it to him for, being young and cocky. But B-Boy pulled out the win. But Jay Young had an amazing showing and, a kid with a bright future there. Diego Rene took on Calabas. Unfortunately, despite the fact that he's the worst, he's sometimes apparently good at wrestling.
Yeah.
So he did defeat Calabas in a singles match, but he doesn't have any titles, so that's still fun to laugh at.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that one in a second. Speaking of the Texas treats, the intergender 6-person tag of Rob Love, Stud Stash, and the sensational savage Ridley Thorne took on the Texas treats. Cocky Chris Marvel, the Megalodon Don Juan, and I don't know why she's with him. Celine Hysteria, she's not a treat. She's cool and all, but I don't know. It's like she's just hanging on, and I don't even know if they really respect her. Callie was like pushing her around and yelling at her, but they did cheat to win. They rolled some tights. James, we're kicking you out of the chat again. And we're making you drive 2 hours.
All 3 shows, and then you have to drive back home and then drive back.
But as usual. But everyone wanted a rematch, and
yes,
the Kingdom and the Treats are definitely not done for many reasons, and perhaps even in RCW's.
Thank you.
In another 5-way match, the one to have the number one contender to the hybrid title, the Flaimo King Brandon Weiss won that one, which started the interesting events of the weekend. Casey came out after the match, tried to shake his hand, and Brandon wouldn't shake his hand as former Flocking Brawlers teammates. There's more to go on to that when we get to RCW. Before we get to the thing Tommy really wants to talk about, there was an impromptu match. The tag team champions, K-Jax and Hit, were not on the show, and they were upset about this. So they came out. And they came out while the young Talboy was tallying the ropes, as they often do at these shows in between matches. And they told him he could have a tag team title match if he could find a partner. We're there with you, Zaya. So Talboy, who is known as Brock Ali, instead of perhaps choosing like someone in the back who maybe didn't have a match, chose one of the merch kids, who we assume has also had some training. They had a tag team match. They tried. They're pretty athletic young kids, but unfortunately, K-Jax and Hit eventually beat them down.
Jerks? I mean, yes, they're.
Well, yes, that. But besides that, they knocked the crap out of them. So that was an impromptu match. Tommy, did I forget anything? Was that everything that happened? I think.
In the match, that was all. If you're talking about post-match. Well, see, JC, I brought a sign.
Oh, well, there's that.
And my sign says, K-Jack sucks, yes, even this month.
Wow.
Yeah, he did.
That is Sean Vex level hate, bro. What are we doing here?
First of all, rest in peace to
Rest in
to my
peace,
good
Vex.
friend.
Yes.
And secondly, he would have loved that sign secretly.
He would have loved that sign.
He probably would have been like, "I'm gonna whoop his ass."
His sign would have said, "Tommy's a bitch ass." Yes,
Yeah.
even this month.
That's
That's probably
still-
what his would have said. So,
oh man, that's still like.
Yeah, what's up, B Ninja? We haven't seen you in a while,
What's
man.
up,
Good to see you.
What's up,
How you
see,
been?
man? But dude, that's one of my favorite moments of being a fan. But the day he brought that set up, I was like, I love and hate him at the exact same time. How did he do that? So,
Yeah.
but
by the way,
afterward-
shout out B Ninja. I'm ready for City of the Wolves. Just gonna throw that out there. Anyway,
But
yeah.
hit ripped my sign and threw it in my face and not my glasses.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Yeah.
but it was funny. I didn't care. I was the one to say it. So
And I think that was all that happened at the hybrid show, right, Tommy? Oh wait,
I mean, there was one really, really, really great.
there was
thing
another
that-
title match, wasn't there, Tommy?
Yeah, I mean, Casey did Casey against Australia,
Right,
which
exactly.
wasn't the main event, but after what happened before it, I mean, that was the main
Casey-
event, but something else.
Casey
should've
did have
been-
another successful title defense.
Yeah, but something else should have
Australia,
been the main event.
another impressive luchador. I think we got up to 5 backbreakers in that one
Yeah, we did.
before he put him away. And then I'm forgetting something else. Brookside, what else did we forget from the hybrid show? You were there too. Jason, you were there. Tommy. What did we forget?
Me.
Yeah, go for it, Tommy.
Kelly and Tita lost the women's.
Oh!
Kelly lost.
Let us introduce you to your new hybrid women's
Kelly
champion.
lost.
Metal
No.
vibes never die. Key
The reign
vibes.
of terror is finally over. Dobby is a free help at long last.
No, Dobby just lost their title. Oh, I mean, yeah. Okay.
Oh my God. It's been so long. I never thought this day would go.
So, JC, you remember that missing sign I made a couple weeks ago that prompted this apparent actual match to happen? Right before the match started, she was yelling at us because Tommy wouldn't stand up. I pulled the picture up on my phone and I showed her, and she was like, "Oh, I hate you," and then she lost the belt. So, yeah, we do have 2 belts, key vibes now.
Like Drew McIntyre once said, I prayed for this to happen.
And it did.
Like Jordan said, I prayed for times like these.
To be fair, you've been praying for a long time for this to happen, probably ever since.
Well, yeah, because you never
Because
developed
God
the
doesn't show
hybrid.
up when I want him to, but he is always right on time. What he doing, church? What he doing, church? Yes, Lord.
Brookside, he can't hear you, and he's not going to read it. Don't worry. He's in the
Nope,
door.
I'm caught up in the goodness of the Lord right now because he heard.
Now,
my cry.
JC, I know you're an empathetic man, so
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen it. You may not want to go to Callie's social media. There is a heartbreaking picture of her.
Really?
I saw it. I
Okay,
did see it.
yeah.
Say she lost one of her babies. Now she just has the Angels
that
championship.
picture made you sad? I
What?
laughed and laughed.
I'm sure you did, but hey, hell of a title run.
I mean, if that's what you want to call it, but sure,
I'll
okay.
call it. So, what would you call it?
Her holding somebody else's belt for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know if I made it clear to you, JC. I don't like her, so I'm not going to give her props. No, I refuse.
okay.
I mean, she's still Callie 1 belt, right? I mean, although
and that has a question mark attached to
right,
it.
that's a good point.
So I'm having a good day, man. That's all I got to say right now. I'm having a good day.
All right. Well, congrats to Tommy and all the Cali haters out there. Congrats to Key Vibes.
Man, we winning right now. We stay winning right now, bro. For real. We eating this weekend, man.
Just keep giving her bullets and more material. That's all I'm gonna say. So,
oh please! If I had broke my leg or something, she'd be laughing on social media.
Brookside, if you fail your classes, we're gonna tell Hybrid they're not gonna let you train. So you better pass.
B Ninja, Tommy, don't make me get Scott Summers out here singing to the Lord. Yeah.
First of all, that the first time he yelled at me, "Jesus loves you." That sit down, still the funniest thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Aside from the Sean Beck poster, and then when I got him that sign for his birthday, Jesus loves you.
Now, moving on to RCW, I think you guys have talked everything that happened at Hybrid.
Yeah, that was everything.
I forgot to put the thing. RCW, by the way, if you missed RCW, like myself, I need to go back and watch it on Title Match Network. You can subscribe and go back and watch. But
just to say this, it absolutely is worth the money. Because
for this show alone,
because Brandon posted about like how great a show was, and look, maybe people can say that you call it glazing, call it whatever you want. That was a 10 out of 10 show to me, man. Like from top to bottom, that was one of the best shows I think RCW has ever put on, whatever.
They put on a lot of great shows too.
Yeah, they put on, I thought that was one of their best, absolutely, hands down.
Now, real quickly, I'll let you guys run the Women's Rumble Royale. Obviously, there was some crazy thing where we had
we'll get there.
Yeah.
So.
There was even a dispute on apparently what the name may be.
Okay.
Because there was a name plastered on the screen, but a couple things first. There was a pre-show match, Diego Rene versus Rilo King.
Yeah.
Diego won again, unfortunately.
Okay.
And then they didn't start with the Women's Rumble. Jason, Sean, what did they start with? It was the other singles match.
Was it the international title?
Was it?
Because that was the one thing I know I missed.
Arsenal versus Hit. You're right. There we go.
Yeah, I overslept.
Yeah.
Arsenal versus Hit. Alex Arsenal, greatly outsized by Hit, but he was down, and he also, I don't know if you followed him on social media. He ate before that day, because he did one of the I don't know if you've seen this picture where he literally looks like Wolverine. What's his name? Hugh Jackman when he's ripped and shredded like crap.
Yeah,
and he's basically it's one of those days where he doesn't eat and doesn't drink water or barely drinks water, or whatever, to look like that. And he was
like a prayer playing while he took that picture. That's what I was
pretty much. I would assume so.
All right.
So his first successful title defense, and then we started, and then the second match was the Women's Rumble. So we were questioning both champions being in it. It was an interesting thing, and lo and behold, they started off 1-2. So I think Hallie was number 1, and then Alejandro, but it doesn't matter. They started 1-2. David Teen versus Rilo King. Why did I say Diego? Because he was at ringside with him. You guys are right. I'm sorry.
So basically,
it was Rilo King versus.
It was a handicap match. Got it.
Right, but Diego's at ringside. That's why I was.
So he was involved. Yeah. So.
Yeah, of course he was. There we go. That makes more sense. Thanks, guys. And then the Women's Rumble. WrestleCast family. Denise Day actually came out third. Had a good showing for a while. If you go back and watch the show on title match, Denise, if you've ever watched the wrestle, has this move where if her opponent's on their knees, she slides down next to them and then pulls them back into what's it called, like a
flatliner,
like a flatliner.
Yeah.
This time she had Callie and Alejandra down, and she hit a double one while looking at the camera and smiling and winking. I forgot what she said exactly, but go check it out. It was a pretty smooth move. And then we got to about, I want to say 7-8 women in the ring before the first elimination. Unfortunately, it was Denise that went out first.
Boo.
At the hands of Aya, or was it London? It was one of the big people that came in. But it was an interesting rumble. The champs went out about halfway through. Callie went out before Ridley even got in the ring, before Celine even got in the ring.
Yeah.
So none of them really had much interaction there. It was really good. Morgan Mercy and Nova Phoenix came in and terrorized for a while. Until some people showed up that could match them, like SOS.
SOS,
who I think eliminated Morgan.
I think she eliminated Morgan, yeah.
And then Nova eliminated her, something like that.
Yeah. Because Nova was in there longer than Morgan was.
Yeah. So really great rumble. Who was the two big blondes that kept saying night? Yeah, Morgan Mercy and Nova Phoenix. I'm assuming is who you're talking about.
Yeah, but he said blondes, and they are not. So, well, Nova's kind of.
But there weren't really big blondes in there.
No.
Otherwise,
yeah.
I think he might just mean more like fair complected people because that
fair.
Yeah.
That would be them. Yeah.
But yeah, so Ridley came in a little bit later, got eliminated. Kaya Dream had a really good showing. Maya had a really good showing. Maya Road was there for the show.
Always love Maya
A lot
Road.
of good names on this. I'm seeing from all the
Yeah, it
pictures
really was.
And
Yeah.
London Dior was in it.
London Dior.
Yeah.
Shay Carmichael. Emmy.
Yeah. Emmy.
So the we technically have 3 women's champs.
It was basically a Texas star-studded.
Yeah,
Rumble.
It really was.
It really was. It was almost like a who's who of Texas women's wrestling was in that Rumble, and like it's one of the cases where it's like the more they got in the ring and started fighting each other, you're like, I would watch any of these matches one-on-one.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of yeah.
Guys, I know y'all are saying Shay is blonde, but I don't know. I don't think of her as like a big blonde enforcer type. Which I feel like that's what Sean is saying.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
she's
he
actually on the
means,
shorter side, and
yeah, I mean, like she's a great wrestler.
She is. Oh, yeah,
he could be. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like Night is definitely Morgan Mercy.
Yeah, because Shay quietly taunts.
Yeah,
Morgan is very loud and scary.
Now there was also some story confusion that I'm interested to see how it plays out. And Sean, you just mentioned what I was getting to.
Yep.
So when they started off, Callie and Tita versus Alejandra, J-Wave was down there with Callie, and Nastico was down there with Alejandra. At some point in the match, early on, Nastico basically gets chased or runs backstage. And first of all, we're like happy. Then later he comes out with Emmy, which is interesting because at last year's Rumble, when the title was on the line, it came down to Alejandra and Emmy, who Nastico had managed both at the time. And Nastico, if you remember, Emmy gets knocked into his arms, and then he tosses her down on the ground for Alejandra to win. So he's obviously, Nastico's been fighting the Camachos, against Angel and against Emmy. And all of a sudden he's back with Emmy. And I think she did eliminate Alejandra the first time. Or maybe the second time. I forgot how all things played out at the end, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, Nastico's always up to something nasty and stank, but be interesting to see what he's doing here. And it'll be interesting to see what his clients think about him when we get to the end of the show. But, so in the end, the person that pulled out the win for the women.
Didn't even matter? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, not for them, because the winner was actually JL, who eliminated Emmy at the end. And she now has a shot at the she has a shot at any title she wants at RCW Mania. We feel like just based on the way the show ended, or the match ended, it may be for Emmy's Phoenix title, because they seem to have some unfinished business. But there's also 2 women's titles out there, so who knows?
And the RCW Phoenix title has kind of become a de facto women's title as well, when it used to be just the younger person belt. Well, but she's actually had it longer than anyone has ever had it.
No, she's had it for almost 2 years or something?
487 days is what the count is at currently. So almost 2 years. Well, just over a year, because she won it back in October of 2023.
God, really?
Yeah.
I would say it's been a while.
Yeah.
And of course we'll come back to that, which was the big thing. So we were a little confused because obviously some women. Oh, also Anarchist Kid and Kid Ash. Anarchid Ash, who's just now coming back from a long ACL injury or something like that. Right?
Yeah. I think it was ACL. Yeah, she looked fantastic.
She had a good showing. So number 29, we hear slightly unfamiliar music. And it just pops up on the screen, La Chica Más Picosa. And then out pops a luchador who is not very tall and has some similarities to other people.
I was getting so angry when this happened, by the way.
And so what was interesting is she was about to set some people up for the chili stomps. And then it's like she realized that's not her move because she's not Callie and Tita. So she hit like the hip attack, basically.
Then she did the backwards roll, but it almost did the whole taunt, but didn't do it because she's not Calientita.
Of course not. But then what really shocked us is Alejandra just showed up back in the ring, and they basically made the announcements. These are the last two competitors in the Rumble, and we were like, so Ali just comes back without a mask? Okay. I mean, I wasn't going to complain. You know, I was
like, Mike didn't care.
Yeah, no, I was like, okay, twice for the price of one, sure. But of course, because they can't stand each other, they wound up affecting each other, being eliminated again, and then they just fought. Oh, well, actually, if you've seen the picture and the Scooby-Doo meme that's been made out of it, Callie was eventually unmasked. She calls herself Reina Mysterio.
It was the biggest shocker of 2025 so far.
Biggest being the key word. James, of course you weren't expecting it to be Calientita.
Yeah, sorry, I meant littlest. My tongue got.
Brookside, I don't think that was you because I didn't see you there all night. No, she said that was defo me.
I know, but you.
She's gonna call me microplastics. I'm gonna call her Brookside or Christopher Daniels if I forget.
Okay, you know what? That's fair.
That's what friends do. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that.
And you know how we also knew it wasn't her. She didn't yell at me for being old.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
That's true, Angela. If you were there, you would have yelled at him for being old. So
like immediately.
But yeah, that was a fun match. That ending was interesting, but also good for JL, who's on the rise herself. So
JL wins
a shot. Well, she wins a shot at any title she wants.
It's how she wants. Okay.
Hasn't been decided yet. We feel like it may be Emmy again because they had a lot of beef there at the end, and Emmy was the last one eliminated. But never know. There's two other world titles, so
yeah.
She secretly wants the international title. Her and Alex Arsenal have beef that no one knows about.
Kind of funny.
That'd be hilarious.
Also, we had.
AJ, you would have taken time to make fun of me. I don't care what you were doing.
Yeah, you would have. He's not wrong. What were the other? But before the Casey match, there was another one, right? Oh no! There was the Casey match after that. Casey and K-Jax.
Yeah.
Casey defeated him, and then after the match, K-Jax got back in the ring and started attacking him. And who comes to save him but his old tag team partner, Brandon Weiss, Flaimo King. And then, reminiscent of Seth Rollins and The Shield, Brandon Weiss strikes him in the back with a chair.
Top 10
and starts attacking his old tag team partner because apparently he didn't take him seriously. What is worse? And Jason, you were there with us. You know what was worse. Amanda and Milo were cheering him on the whole time. Cheering on Brandon Weiss attacking his former partner.
Like I said, top 10 anime betrayals.
And when I threw in the chat to them, how dare you cheer this? She just sent me that meme of the girl with the evil look, that little, like, she's like 7 years old, but she looks to the side with an evil face. And then Milo threw, and then they started throwing anime references in with Tommy, and I lost. I have no idea what they were talking about. So then I got out of that. But yeah, Brandon Weiss.
I guess the emo thing is not a phase, for one thing.
That's actually what I said, JC. I said I will be madder, except he's an emo kid, so actually this kind of makes a lot of sense. I can't even pretend it doesn't.
Yeah.
But, afterwards, Black Rose said, I understand. I'd feel the same way if I was Janetti of the team, so we're coming out swinging now.
Ole, we are, yeah.
I mean, at this point, is he wrong?
Yeah. Now, after that was the men's rumble. Which was awesome.
Yeah.
Who started the men's rumble?
Oh God, I forgot.
Don Juan?
No, he was later.
Was it?
No, wait. No, you're right. I think
it was Don Juan and someone. Jason, James, Sean, throw in the chat. I forgot who started the show.
I can't remember.
It was a 30-person, obviously, so it was packed.
Yeah.
It had a lot of fun stuff going on there. A lot of hybrid representation, which was really cool, including later on in the show, Talboy, but just Brock Ali this time, making an entrance, and he had quite a showing for a while. David Teen was in there pretty early too, because David and Diego for a while.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter exactly who started, but for a while, yeah. So you know what?
Oh, that's right. It was Jay Alexander.
Oh, that's
and
right. It was the
Hunter- and
tag
Hunter.
team that started it.
Yeah,
You're
it was Jay
right.
Alexander and Hunter Gray. That's right. It was Jay because that's what because like when Titan and Edge Stone got in there later, we said we made the joke. These two tag teams are going to fight each other forever. They're going to be in grocery stores. They're going to be in church, at their kids' daycare. They're going to just see. They're the definition of on site.
Yeah,
They're
Jason, thanks for always having the right info.
Yeah.
What basically happened very early in the Rumble was Overkill wound up in there, the Pillars wound up in there, and Fly Def wound up in there, which basically the top three tag teams behind the Von Erichs, who we don't know at the moment what their status is for those titles since they're signed with AEW. Nothing's really been said about that. So, yeah, and all those dudes were huge.
Yeah,
Fly Def are like not small guys, even though it sounds like Fly Def like they're a flying tag team, which they are athletic, but they're good size.
You know what's funny? Warren is, of course, shorter than Zach, but that doesn't make him a small dude. It's just that sitting next to Zach, he just looks like he's smaller. It's kind of like when Tony Parker had that effect, sitting next to like Duncan and Mana. It looked like he was the shortest guy. It's like no, he's like super. He's super tall. It's just that everyone with him is also ultra tall.
Right.
So.
Sean, Brock Ali is the future.
Yeah.
Let me just. Well, I don't know.
And anyone who eliminated Don Juan is okay with me.
I mean, he is still legitimately a kid. Oh yeah, Angel Camacho was out there too. You're right.
Yeah.
We had a lot of beef there early on. Yeah. But I think both Rumbles did a really good job of like breaking the Rumble into like story parts, like part one, then the middle, then toward the end. But Brock Ali had a good showing. Dead Man's Hand was in there for a while. Jay Young, Eric Walker, Jesse James. Jesse James, who we've had on the show before, posted that last Rumble was literally the last time he was at RCW, but he still got a good cheer from the crowd, and he was really pumped about that. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Like we said, Diego and Teen were in there for a while. Their strategy was to lie in the corner and cuddle each other, which was strange, but effective for a while,
work, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
We had a few surprise appearances, not many on the men's, but Schizo the Baker showed up. JC, I know you remember Schizo.
Oh, of course, yeah.
When his name appeared on the Tron, I was like, no way. And then I made the joke. Oh my! And then I made the joke. Oh my God! Brandon remembered his number, but
Stash made it in there. He was in there for a decent amount of time too. Who else on there? Armani Sage was in there.
He was 30.
Again, he was number 30. He is super cocky, but he's making moves. He was Final Four. In fact, down to the Final 3. I wish Luigi was supposed to be in it, but apparently couldn't make it or something came up. So no pizza dough in the Rumble, unfortunately.
Sad.
Two things. Oh, okay. That was Thick Daddy Thoroughbred, Anthony Andrews, shaved his kind of skullet, and he looks much more devious and evil with just a shaved head and a beard. True. He looks like a movie villain, and it works for him. Don Fernando, who we know is out of Corpus, and as Sean says, there was a Ric Flair wannabe in a sense, did get a haircut. Still a jerk, though, still evil.
Found a copy of Legacy of Goku 2 for the Game Boy Advance. That son of a I mean, good for him. He just really deserves to have nice things. Does.
Oh, so Case is in the chat reiterating what I said he mentioned earlier.
Yep. Oh, damn.
Yeah, so there you go. We just mentioned earlier, Casey, about his betrayal and his attack on you.
Curses said inevitable betrayal. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. And again, don't forget, Amanda and Milo were in that corner cheering it on, as were the Flamingo groupies or whatever that were there from Hybrid, all, Amanda's friends.
Flamingo groupies! I don't care.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to mention that. At Hybrid, when things weren't quite as bad, Amanda and her friends all had, like, Flamingo
Hoodies.
blankets, hoodies that like,
Yeah,
but they look like flamingos. Yeah.
Yeah, and they put them on
Yeah.
so fast that I didn't even notice.
Sean, wow.
Sean, what
Look,
did Casey
I mean-
do to you?
About
Well, he's a
Casey's
Texas
comment.
Street fan. Go ahead, sorry.
He's not fully Marty Jannetty until you put him through a barbershop window. I'm just gonna throw that
Hey.
out there for you, Casey. I'm just saying. So
And at this point,
Ironically, Casey has had his haircut by the barber, so to bring that full circle.
yeah,
that would
Yeah,
actually
we'll
be
see.
full circle.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
But Sean, you're a Texas Street fan, so we don't trust anything you say.
Yeah.
So, anyways, to the final of the men's Rumble, it actually came down to Chris Marvel and Epidemus Jr. And in one of the most interesting endings I've seen, they threw each other over the top rope onto the apron, and they're fighting. And I thought, in fact, I think Armani was still in there when they were on the apron. And then he tried to come eliminate them, and then he got eliminated, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
So then it was still down to them. Then Epi, trying to keep his balance, puts his other foot on the guardrail. So he's now straddling between the apron and the guardrail. And then Marvel does too. Naf, what is this?
Not you traitor.
Huh.
Wow. A lot of turncoats in the chat.
He's
today.
asking. What?
Crazy.
Wow.
People split on this side of this one.
But so so they were straddling the apron and the barricade, and then Epi, and I guess to see if he could finish it off, hits a cutter on Marvel, and they both hit the mat. Now here's the thing. I don't know if it was the same for you, Tommy. From my seat, I was blocked to see the floor from a cameraman and a referee.
Kind of for me too.
So I couldn't really see who hit the mat first. One side of the referees claimed Marvel hit first and Epi was the winner. The other side claimed that Epi hit first and Marvel was the winner.
Okay. My thing was I also have to go off sound, and I heard one distinct sound, like they literally hit the floor at the exact same time.
Yeah, and I haven't seen obviously the title match. So if anybody's watched the title match version, does it make it any clearer? Is there a good shot of it? I don't know. What I found kind of funny is at the announcer table on the stage. If you've been to the Grand Event Center, you know there's that stage. Well, of course, you said Marvel won. Sean, you're a treat fan. That doesn't
Sean and
count as
James.
anything.
It's not shocking that y'all said Marvel won.
The GMs, Pink and Logan Pettis, came running down claiming one or the other one. I think Pink claimed that Marvel won, and I think Logan Pettis claimed that Epi won. My question was, how on earth did they see anything from the stage on the other side if the ring is blocking the mat? I don't know. I think
monitors
they just
backstage, I assume.
maybe
But they were on the stage though.
Maybe it did, but then they're watching the same monitor, so I think they just wanted to argue with each other, to be honest.
I mean,
which
honestly,
is fine because it's what they do.
Yeah.
So we don't have a clear-cut winner at this point, or do we?
No. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say so. As far as officially, the clear-cut winner is they both won the Rumble.
Oh, hold on. One quick thing. Oliver gets in the ring. Brandon Oliver gets in the ring, and
Which he
for
hasn't
a
done in a
minute,
while.
we think he might decide the winner by fan vote because he literally goes, "Who thinks Chris Marvel won?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who thinks Epidemus won? Yeah." And I'm sorry, y'all can lie if you want, fans. The Epidemus cheer was louder.
It was.
It just was. James Sean, you're gonna have to live with that. His cheer was louder. And we were like, is he about to decide a winner by popular vote? But no. Tommy, go ahead and tell them what they decided.
So it has been decided now that they both won the Rumble, and that the main event of RCW Mania will be a triple threat match against with Marvel and Epi challenging whoever is the champion.
Okay, question. Did Brandon run down to the ring and tear both of his quads trying to get in the ring? A la Vince McMahon? It has to be asked. It has to be
That's
asked.
a fair question, and he did not. He
Okay,
got it
good.
safely.
I'm glad everybody is healthy after that, so that's for sure. Yeah, so
You know, he is such a lover of old wrestling. I'm kind of surprised he didn't.
at least
roll
like
in and go, no, just kidding.
Yeah. So the champion, as of now, as we all know, it's been all over social media. It's a career achievement, honestly, for someone that's been around this for a long time. King Rob Love is now officially the RCW champion.
And I can't believe I'm cheering for that. I can't believe I'm happy about
awesome.
it.
Because
it's a weird.
And also, we must thank a big assist to the best manager, Nastico, who can't keep his nose out of business, but this time hit Bo
Good job,
Amir with brass
Nastico.
knucks.
Yeah.
Which, then allowed Rob Love to take out Nastico with a stunner and get the pin on Bo. And I got to say, when he started calling for the pin, we were all like, no way. No effing way. And then someone on commentary said something like he might tear both quads.
Hilarious! Hilarious!
Then someone
I bet it was Robbie.
Someone was on top of it then. And then we went, the crowd loved it. You can even see in the clips they've shared, an immediate 2-1-0 chant started for him. Tommy was legitimately on his chair.
Yeah.
I was.
It was crazy. Knopf was going crazy. I mean, we all was. It wasn't suspected, but we all loved it. And so now it's triple threat, as you said.
But not till April.
RCW Mania. Rob Love versus Marvel, who they have a lot of history with stuff lately. Not to mention just the Texas Treats Kingdom feud, but also Epidemus Jr. in there. So, hell of a match setup.
So depending what they do at the Von Erich Ranch, obviously is the next show. What they book, whether it's Bomir getting a rematch or something, we'll see. But I mean, just what's set up right now with Rob Love as a title picture, there's a lot you can tell with that story. So I think that's amazing. Yeah. So
it was an amazing show from top to bottom. Great emotional way to kind of end the show. Everyone was on a high. Really cool stuff. Stash came out in tears, basically. So proud for his best friend. It was a hell of a moment. I was almost waiting for like all the faces to come out and put them on their shoulders, like a WrestleMania 10 or whatever.
I mean, he held that championship for quite a while, right? I mean,
he did beat some names. Nastico was often involved, but he did technically
he never beat Moose.
Right, he survived Moose, beat Casey, beat Brandon, beat Fuego del Sol, beat Angel technically. So he had quite a reign. He took, and on top of that, he took that from Khan, which was an achievement in of itself. So
true.
Brandon had posted earlier, Rob Love has been in RCW for like 11 years or something. Beat Brick, that's right. I forgot about that.
He did
at the last show.
That's right. Yeah. Of course, that was kind of Angel Camacho's fault on that one. That was Angel.
It was, but lots of story going on here. But what's interesting, and he said this a few times over the last couple shows, Marvel never held the RCW title.
Yeah, that's two guys who've been there forever, never held it.
Marvel's been there forever.
And to be fair, technically, the wrestler named Don Juan, I don't believe has ever held a title. Remember?
Probably also true. Yeah,
Christian Balance has held it, and I think didn't Andromeda hold it?
No, never held it. The only time that Don Juan / Andromeda / Christian Balance has held it was when Christian Balance was the championship.
Was it really?
Was the champion? Yeah.
So
that's the only time. Yeah. So one of those things. The Treats have had so much success as a tag team, but neither one of them has ever held the RCW championship, despite all their years there with them. So yeah.
So much history there. They can't do good. They have to do.
Maybe because they're dickwads, but okay, you know what? Never mind. I just
hell of a way to kick off 2025. Obviously Hybrids had 2 shows now, but for RCW, that's a hell of a way to start the year for them. So yep.
And by the way, this is for everyone in the chat. After the great shows, and talking about the local coming up shows, next week we will have a local champion on to preview some stuff coming up. We will let you know later in the week before it comes up. But
local champion.
Also, we want to make sure it's locked down, obviously. But the plan is to have a local champion on to talk about a match coming up. So, yeah. Good stuff.
Now, Mike, did Ridley Thorne like the sign?
Of course. So, okay.
Yeah.
So there were two signs, obviously, right? I had made her Ride with Ridley sign. She had requested it in red, which I did. And then, okay. So, and this, I took this to Hybrid, obviously, the first night. Yeah. I tried to make like a little Texas Kingdom emblem for them, right? Because what I did, so like Ridley likes to use the crossed swords on her social media and stuff. So what I try to do is turn the swords upside down and curve the hilts a little bit to make it look like a heart. It was so-so, it wasn't too bad, right? But then I was like, I'm going to I tried to draw Texas, which is not an easy state to draw. We all know this.
Yeah.
We've lived here for many years, right? Then I put a crown in the middle for Rob Love. I put a stash under the crown for Stash. And then I was like, what on earth do I put for Jesse Funaki? I was like, I can't put like an awesome drop kick. I don't know how to draw that. So I had to put his initials. And there's a picture on my social media because I showed him. I was like, I'm sorry, man. Like, you're awesome, but I don't know like what to put for you yet. He goes, it's cool. And there's a picture of him pointing to his initials, JF. But no, she loved the sign. There was the other sign. Are you also talking about the other sign?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I saw that one, but you just mentioned, yeah. So
yeah. So then, and I've had this idea for like a couple months now, but this is a show they were both going to be on. So I also have a sign that you can check out on my social media that says Denise, Ridley, Savage Dreams, ? I'm just saying, Denise Day and Ridley Thorne as a tag team, as two ass-kicking Latinas who don't take guff from people, with the name Savage Dreams for the Sensational Savage and the Dreamcatcher Denise Day, sounds awesome. And I will say, they were both down for it. They took a picture, both of them with the sign, and they actually started talking about some ideas for the team. I don't want to give a lot of things away, but a color swap may be involved, which sounds pretty cool. So Marvel, if you're watching, Brandon Oliver, if you're watching, I'm just saying there's a tag team waiting there. Savage Dreams, Savage Dreams versus Fire and Fury.
I would pay good money.
So yeah, they were down with that. And I'm down with that too. And then also, I know we haven't got to see him much, but if you want someone else to mix it up with the big guys at Hybrid or at RCW, Ray Forrest, he can be a jerk. Ray Perez, the Force Ray Perez. He can be a jerk sometimes to Tommy, but that's because Tommy never knows if he's going to be good or bad.
I mean, I don't know what to say. Like when he gets there, it's like, what do I say?
But also, if that dude's a solid linebacker, and he don't back down from anybody too. So, Ted, I've had a lot of ideas this past year that people have used. As I've mentioned before, the Since Day One thing for Denise was my idea, and
Ride with Ridley was your idea, wasn't it?
Ride with Ridley was my idea. And I've had some other ideas too. I know I had one from Casey that didn't quite go anywhere, but I got ideas. I don't know about a manager. No, you know what? I'm lying. I told them that actually. I was like, you know what? If you need someone to walk down with you, like I actually did tell them that. Now that you said that,
you know what?
Yeah, I did. So you're right. Yeah, I did tell them I could be their manager. Angel, that's not a friend. If they tried to get Ridley to chop you. And they're going to use your real name that time. Just saying. Ridley's cool.
Well, because that was out of concern. When you said it, like,
yeah, right?
Yeah.
No, but honestly, one hell of a weekend. Great shows, and then talking to everybody afterwards. One day when we don't care about getting canceled, we're going to release the conversations that we've had with certain wrestlers and some of the stuff they've shared. K-Jax has some great stuff to share.
Maybe one day people are so sensitive about stuff that's said. Right?
What about K-Jax? Sorry, I was reading something real quick. Sorry, what did you say?
I just said one day when we don't care about getting canceled and we're done with this, we're going to share the conversations we've had with certain wrestlers. And I just, K-Jax has some great conversations.
We are never talking about things K-Jax has said to us ever on this show.
I hope he doesn't get
because I'm going to get canceled someday. I accept that, but it will not be because of K-Jax.
I hope he doesn't get mad for us sharing this, not him, but his partner, because he's obviously a big bull of a man who went ballistic on Casey at that last Bonacho Pro show. Hit is also funny AF. I just want to throw it out there.
No. Full disclosure, Hit is hilarious, but they're both jackasses. So
Yeah, Hit punched you. Brookside, what do you mean he? I mean, Tommy's been hit by him.
Yeah,
but what do you mean he punched you?
When did Hit punch you?
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either.
He'll do a lot of bad things, but
and
also Don Juan. And then on the flip side of that, I can't share all these. There's some people who are evil that in real life are like the nicest people ever, and we were getting extremely canceled. Yeah, we were, Jason. But no, it was a fun weekend.
The beauty of
wrestling. It really is, right?
Yeah.
Someone made that comment. They were like, sometimes like the biggest heels in wrestling are the nicest people. And I was like, and then sometimes the biggest heroes like Hulk Hogan are the scum of the earth. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. That's why you almost trust the heels more in real life.
Well,
all right.
WWE's new thing of making their heels justified is really awesome. So,
yeah.
Kevin Owens. Anyway,
Drew McIntyre.
Talking about what happened, internationally on the national stage, however you want to look at it. AEW's Grand Slam Australia took place, although we didn't see it till after All-Star Weekend, which, by the way, Stefan Castle got robbed. That dunk should have been a 50. I don't give an F what everybody thinks, but that should have gone to a dunk off.
Yeah, that one dunk was insane. And Mac McClung is like Ted said, he has one dunk, and you can't dunk over cars or use hoverboards in the game. That's why he's in the G League, and he's not in the NBA. Book it.
Stefan's Castle should have been a 50. Stefan had one dunk, should have been a 50 through the net, between the legs.
Oh, that was.
Who cares how many tries it took? So yeah. And Tracy McGrady, F you, you're a former Spur. You should know better.
But he's also that 13 seconds guy.
Yeah.
So 13 points.
We got him to the second round of the playoffs for crying out loud.
Farthest he's ever gotten.
Yep.
Have a good night, James. Get some rest, man.
Hi, James.
AEW, Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega defeated the Don Callis family in the tag match. Mercedes Moné defeated Harley Cameron. I know you guys were thinking, hey, Harley's champ, but I was like,
well, I've seen clips of that.
Yeah.
And she pulled off the camera of like the face coming up from behind from the ringside to see the face, but with the doll. Hilarious. Like you just see the little Mercedes Moné puppet come up like from the
so great, by the way.
Harley Cameron's going to have a big win. And the crowd reaction is going to be insane when it does.
Yeah,
it's like that Chelsea Green energy for her of like
it really is.
She is so good. You're not going to deny her forever. Like
no, it's too good. They're teasing us at this point. She's going to get the win.
Death Riders defeated Cope and Jay White in a Brisbane brawl. Yeah,
but about that match, there was a cool moment of the crowd singing his theme song that I don't think it's ever happened to him before.
That's true.
Not to that level. I'm sure people sing it when it comes on because it's such a recognizable song, but I don't think it's kept going after the music ended the way that did. So that was super cool for him, though.
Okada retains the Continental Championship against Buddy Matthews. Man, I really thought Buddy's going to
really think with it being Australia.
Yeah.
But apparently I also saw something where last year when Rhea Ripley went back to Australia for the pay-per-view, they both basically had the same kind of vest jacket with the Australian flag and their name on the back or whatever.
Which is
that was pretty cool. Nice. And then she was there with them because apparently they turned that into their honeymoon.
Yeah.
Like going
they
back
finally
home.
got a honeymoon after all this. Yeah, for sure.
So like they stayed afterwards. And there's a picture with her, him, and someone else from AEW, I forget who, but like just backstage or whatever, at the show. So that was pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, she was backstage. That means she signed with. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Oh, you want to melt the internet's mind.
Finally, Timeless Toni Storm defeats Mariah Way to win back the AEW Women's World Championship.
Such a great story.
It is so great. You almost don't want this dance. You want to see where else they take this, right? I mean, gosh, where can they go to Revolution with this one? For sure.
I mean, it was so. Like they. I mean, I think they still may be going to Revolution with some version of this continuing. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Stateside, NXT had Vengeance Day taking place in DC, and as predicted, the women were the main event, which was. Wow,
I mean, honestly, was there any? What sense would it have made not to do that with that match? But then again, it's WWE. They could
women open the show and close the show when you think about it too. So I mean, yeah.
Now, if Mac McClung looks like a goat, he's not the goat.
Wow.
Also, if
let me
you're
just
gonna
put it this way: only one of them was playing on All Star Sunday, and it was Stephon Castle. So
damn right.
Yeah.
Also, the GOAT when you've still got names like Dominique Wilkins, Vince Carter, Michael Jordan. Get out of here. They didn't need cars and hoverboards to win dunk
Matt McClung is a great talent on the dunk contest. I will give him that. But they should have kept on dunking because that was a 50 by Stephon Castle. I really was. And that's dropped. So yeah.
Yeah, I shared with him this someone made a meme and it said Mac McClung with his headband looks like someone who was given a magic headband and now he can play basketball like that movie with Bow Wow where he got the shoes.
Yes. Like Mike. Yeah.
Exactly. So. I was like, well, if they make the movie again, Bow Wow needs to make a cameo on that. So
back to NXT, Stephanie Vaquer is now the Women's North American Champion. Frazier and Axiom successfully defended the NXT Tag Team Championships. Eddie Thorpe defeated Trick Williams in a strap match. I did get to see this one, and I was so surprised with the result. But shout out Eddie Thorpe, man. They're really pushing him, especially over Trick. The crowd was in shock when that 3-count hit.
Do you think they're about to put Trick on the main roster?
I have a feeling.
Okay.
I have a feeling that's where we'll go with this one, either right before WrestleMania or immediately.
Well, there goes 1/3 of their main event scene then.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Ethan Page defeats Javon Evans. And then in the championships, obviously Obafemi retained the NXT championship because we got the face-off with Moose on Tuesday. And Julia defends her title in a fatal 4-way. But it's not all bad for Roxanne Perez because she defeated Raquel Rodriguez on Raw to get into the Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
Guys.
So I saw something interesting, and I think it's just finishing the storylines. Supposedly, they're still referring to Roxanne as NXT superstar as she's going through there, right?
It's because Bayley keeps getting hold of the production notes before the announcers go out there, and she changes them real quick.
If she would have done that, she would have been gone beyond NXT superstar. She would have been like super fan.
Yeah.
NXT rookie Roxanne Perez.
But some people are just kind of speculating. It's basically just like to finish off these kind of stories and then post either at Mania or post Mania because she was in the Rumble for the 3rd time. She's in the Chamber now. She's like on a 2-way contract, going between the G League and the NBA, basically playing for both.
It's rare you get these transition stories like this that make it almost seamless, but it makes sense. So it's kind of good while you have it, make use of it.
She's killing it. Like they clearly have her as a top star for
an heir apparent for someone.
Yeah.
For sure.
Rey Mysterio. Wait.
Oh wait, what? Yeah. So
that's Dragon Lee. If they never use him, sorry.
No, that's clearly Pentel Zero now. So.
Oh man.
Also, what is NXT doing with 6 matches? Where did that come from? What happened to the old reliable 5 matches?
All right.
I mean, they had time.
I just got a 1-minute warning. I didn't even have one today.
Now we got one. Well, that's a good segue into our 1-minute warning segment. Mike, do you have something this week?
I do.
All right. Go for it, sir, whenever you're ready.
So I talked about this last week on my 1-minute warning, and then after we talked about all the Rumble thing, cheering for this women's Rumble was very difficult, as we have befriended many of the people there who were in this match. First of all, I wound up wearing my new Jesse James, the Professor shirt, because I didn't know if I was going to wear my JL shirt or my Denise Day shirt or my Alejandra shirt, or if Ridley had a shirt, I would have wrote it, would I want a Ridley shirt? So I went safe, so none of them got mad at me at that one.
Fair.
But also on Saturday, after the show where I had my Ridley side and everything, I did have to, after we took pictures, and we took pictures with the Texas Kingdom. If you've seen, we've all shared it with all of them there. I did have to tell her, look, I support you, and if you win this thing, I'm going to be right there, like cheering you. But there's other people in the show that we also, cheer, and she was cool about it. She understood. Obviously I was hoping Denise Day would have gone a little bit further, but she still had a good showing. JL1, who we support, despite the fact that she's still with Nastico, we support Alejandra, and I don't know if she's with Nasco anymore. We've got to figure out what's going on with him and Emmy. So, great weekend, but as you become friends with more people, it's harder to make choices. Also, on a quick side note, Sakai Living is very upset that I have not made a sign for him yet, as at Hybrid in the parking lot, not even in the building, I was walking by and him and Devin were moving their car, and he stops and rolls down the window and goes, "Is that sign for me?" And I'm like, keep walking. And then just tells me to keep going. I was like, all right. Then at RCW the next day, he's like, when am I going to get a sign? I'm like, okay, I guess I'm making signs for everybody. So I may have like a portfolio of artwork at the Road to Hybrid Mania. We'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens.
All right.
The Hybrid parking lot, the only place in wrestling more dangerous than the NXT parking lot.
It might be.
For fans this time as well.
Yeah, right.
All right. Tommy, whenever you're ready, sir.
Okay, so like I said, I didn't have anything tonight until Mike and JC brought it to my attention. First of all, 6 matches. NXT can do 6 matches, but the main roster can't do 6 matches in pay-per-view. Really? It's that hard? It's that difficult? Y'all have 5 times as many people. Y'all can't pull 6 matches on a pay-per-view. Okay. Secondly, this is what I said was going to happen. Oh, yay, Penta. You're away from Evil AEW. Yay, Ricky Sainz. You're away from Evil AEW. What has Dragon Lee been doing this whole time? We just saw him this past Monday, and you know why we saw him Monday? Because the New Day took out Rey Mysterio. So we can only have like 2 luchadors a show? We can only do 2 a show. That's all we can do?
Yes.
That's all we can do? So for everyone, again, this does not absolve AEW. Yes, they have work to do. Yes, they make mistakes. But stop acting like WWE is going to be this perfect company. They're not. Everyone was so excited for Dragon Lee, so thrilled for Dragon Lee. They ain't helped bro do nothing until this past Monday for like 5 months. So all this rolling up the red carpet they're doing for everybody else, yeah, that's real good. Let's see how long it lasts. I mean, now they got Ethan Page in a feud with Ricky, and I mean, I guess because they're like, oh shit, we got to do something with the other NXT guy who we had real hot for a couple months and then did nothing with immediately after. What's the dragon? Thank you, Jason. Another because we saw him at the Rumble. Where's it been since? On Speed? Who watches that shit?
Divorce court.
Oh,
damn.
You know what?
You asked.
Okay, I'm done. My 1 minute warning is over. JC completely just murdered everything I could have said after that.
Look, as far as the Dragon League thing, it might be the whole DI thing. Blame Trump.
I'm leaving.
I'm sorry.
Okay, first of all, okay, let's be real. If that was the case, then Dragon Lee, the LWO, the New Day, Obafemi, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, and every single.
There's a lot of executive orders out there. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
I think Lexus King is the DEI here. He's one of the few, and it feels like he didn't earn that. Never mind. All right, we'll keep going.
DEI, anti-immigration orders. There's a lot of stuff you can go with this one. But anyway.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, I can't wait to go to a Gulf Coast wrestling show and maybe go dip my toes in the Gulf of Mexico after we watch the hybrid people defeat the.
Call it the Gulf of Margaritaville. I don't give a fuck.
That's fine.
Live on, people. That's right. So
we can drink margaritas too.
Damn right, especially on South Padre Island. Which, by the way, shout out to my sister who just had a trip to Orlando, stay at the Margaritaville Resort, told me all about it, and I'm so fucking jealous. But when I do go back to Orlando to go to Universal, that's where I'm staying, in the land of our Lord and Savior, Jimmy Buffett. Anyway, I want to start this by saying, look, with all the push that Roxanne Perez has been getting, I'm going to call it right now, she is winning next year's Women's Royal Rumble. Flat out. That's it. Boom. Done. You can call it here first. Secondly, keep up hashtag Hendry versus Cena at WrestleMania. Keep it going, people. Yep. Please try and get that going. Needs to happen. It's only going to happen if the fans push that, and it definitely would be awesome. Third, as somebody who is, I would say, an expert on signs, and Mike and Tommy know this, so I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but some of mine are pretty legendary. One arguably got the biggest reaction ever for a sign at a local wrestling show. If you're not sure which one I'm talking about, you can ask Brent Oliver about it. You can ask anybody that was in that RCW locker about it. And if you see Joe Rydick on the street, you can ask him about it too. But if people are making sign requests, cool, no problem with it. It's hard. Poster board, I get it. Shit, inflation's real. All this stuff going on, tariffs, whatever. Invest in a dry erase board. I'm just going to tell you that right now because you can do so much with it, especially if you have some decent art skills. You can draw up some pretty quick signs with the dry erase board and have those ready to go on hand. So
I have one for a while.
Yeah. So
because of you inspired me to get one.
Definitely keep it going. Keep a small one on hand because you can rate people when they chop somebody. And lo and behold, Tina and I were actually on the cover of Ring of Honor pre-AEW era when they were promoting a show in San Antonio. So dry erase boards are definitely the way to go. You can do so much with them. You can get creative on the spot with it. And who knows? Maybe your stuff could show up on the front page of a national wrestling company as well. So, yeah.
There you go.
It was Eddie Edwards holding the sign, too. I'll never forget that.
Wait, what was that?
It was Eddie Edwards because y'all gave him a 10 and he walked around with it. Yeah.
He literally saw, I'll never forget this. I forget who he was wrestling, but he saw
Matt Taven. It was
Matt
Taven.
Match. He chopped. I gave him an 8. He said, "What?" He brought him over right in front of me, chopped and wrote 10, and then he was just like that to the crowd. It was so great. Somebody snapped a picture of it. There's me holding it. There's Tina with this big, beautiful smile on her face. And the next time ROH was coming to San Antonio, that is the picture on the front page of
it was
going on sale.
Because that was a moment, man. That was just too good. He was like an 8. How dare you? I will.
Yeah. So,
and Tay was probably like, please give him a 10. Please give him a 10 for the love of God. I don't care if you're lying. Don't make
so
him do
many
it again.
great moments. Take it from a sign expert. Yeah, just the dry erase board is the way to go.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, Gulf of Water. Nice, Angel. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Gulf of the Sea.
Thank you everybody for joining us on this week's episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. So much to talk about, so much great wrestling to yes, I did take one to NJPW, I know. To all the wrestling companies in this area, keep it up. Keep working together. As I mentioned before, there was an era when somebody would just butt heads on so many things. When you work together, even if it's a double, triple shot, everybody wins. The fans win, the promotions win. Everybody can succeed together, and I love seeing it. Definitely, please keep it going. Next week, we are going to be previewing WWE Elimination Chamber, or as it's known in Germany, WWE No Escape. Yes, that is actually the name in Germany for it.
No, I know.
I know that.
It's not funny, but...
Yeah, because
there's a good reason why. Yeah.
No, the first time I saw that, I was like, "Why do they call it that?" Then I was like,
"Oh,
that's actually a fair name change."
Not gonna lie, that's actually a pretty badass name for a show too, as well. So, but yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. Chamber matches are pretty much all set. Oh Jesus Christ, Angel's just go. My God, Zaya Brookside going off. Yeah, so
go to sleep and pass your classes.
So we're going to be talking all about that next week, along with any other news that's coming out there. There's just coming left and right, it seems, in the world of wrestling, and it's pretty awesome. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Over here, we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
Over here, we got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. As always, kills and baby faces. Remember, pro wrestling is real. People are fake.
Boom.
See you next week.
Adios, Gunther.
No.